top Trump nominee can't answer the simplest yes or no questions about obeying the law, that's not confusion. That's a flashing red warning sign for American democracy. And Adam Schiff just exposed it in devastating fashion.
The chair, Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to follow up on Senator Kennedy's line of question and ask a similar line of yes or no questions just to put a finer point and make sure that your answers are as definitive as they sounded. So let me start with you, Mr. Edlow. Yes or no? Would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore or disregard an applicable district court order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it?
Senator, as I said before,
yes, just a yes or no question.
I don't believe I'll ever be in that position. But
you may not, but just like you answered Senator Kennedy, I want to make sure that you were not misleading anyone. So let me ask the question again. Would you ever advise the administration that it could disregard an applicable district court opinion or order because you believe the Supreme Court will ultimately overturn it? Yes or no?
I don't want to speculate, but I can't see a situation where I would advise to not follow a court order.
So your answer is no, you would never advise them to disregard a district court order, even if you thought the Supreme Court
Again, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak.
I just want you to be precise and answer yes or no.
I can't see a time where I would do that. No.
Okay. Mr. Geiser, yes or no?
Thank you very much, Senator Schiff. I would advise clients to follow court orders.
Even if you believe the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the district court?
Well, Senator, as far as
yes or no?
The answer is the same. The president has said he will follow court orders.
The same answer, yes or no?
Senator, the president has said
you were able to answer Senator Kennedy, but I want to make sure that you were not misleading Senator Kennedy. Yes or no, would you ever advise the administration it could ignore a district court order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately rule otherwise? Yes or no, would you ever advise them that?
Senator, applicable court orders should be followed.
That's not my question. Yes or no?
Senator, you asked me.
Yes or no, Mr. Geiser? It's a simple question.
Senator?
Mr. Geiser, you were able to answer Senator Kennedy. Are you raising a doubt now about your answers to Senator Kennedy because you can't answer this question?
Senator, I would advise clients to follow applicable court orders.
Is that a yes or no?
I would advise clients to follow applicable.
Is that a yes or no? Let me repeat the question so there's no ambiguity about it. Would you ever advise the administration, you're going to be, if you're confirmed heading the Office of Legal Counsel that helps determine whether actions are lawless or lawful, would you ever advise the administration that it could ignore an applicable district court opinion or order because you believed the Supreme Court would ultimately overturn the order? Yes or no?
Senator, if I'm confirmed to lead the Office of Legal Counsel,
all right,
I would.
You're not answering the question. So I guess the answer is to Senator Kennedy, you just might advise the administration to ignore a district court order. How about you, counsel?
Thank you, Senator Schiff. In my role as director, I am not
asking yes or no.
Well, I would thank you. I wish to clarify. I'm not if confirmed a director. I'm not acting in a legal capacity at all. I'm part of the executive agency branch, and therefore would not be advising clients on any aspects of that.
Well, would it be appropriate in your view for anyone else among legal counsel to do so?
In general, court orders should be followed and respected. There are situations which I recall back from law school.
I guess you're not able to answer the question either. Counsel, how about you?
Senator Schiff, thank you. I mean, I agree. I don't believe it's appropriate to address this hypothetical. At the Department of Justice,
so you want to revise your answer to Senator Kennedy then? That is, there may be circumstances where you advise the administration to disregard a district court of opinion because you believe the Supreme Court might rule otherwise. Is that your opinion?
As a lawyer, the answer is it depends.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll make sure Senator Kennedy is aware that you just might, it depends, advise the administration to ignore court orders.
Senator,
let me ask another question. Mr. Geiser, would you agree that it would be unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Would you agree that's unlawful?
Well, thank you for that question, Senator.
Yes or no?
Whether something is lawful or not, I would always want to look.
I'm just asking you a simple question. Is it unlawful for the president to accept a gift from a foreign state without the consent of Congress? Very simple question.
Senator, as a lawyer, I would always give my...
I'm not asking you for a preamble, just yes or no.
Well, Senator Schiff, it depends on the fact...
Well, Mr. Geiser, Where is the depends on the facts of Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8, which says, no person holding any office shall, without consent of Congress, accept any present from any foreign state. That's the Constitution. Doesn't say, well, it depends, or it might, or maybe. It says, no person shall do so. Do you find that ambiguous?
Senator,
I thought you were supposed to be the strict constructionists. This is what the Constitution says. Is there an exception for $400 million planes from Gulf emirs?
Senator,
Is there an exception for that?
On behalf of the chair, Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do wonder, though, that whether or not we should set up.
What you just witnessed wasn't a normal Senate exchange. It was a stress test for the rule of law. And the nominees handpicked by Donald Trump for some of the most powerful legal positions in the country couldn't pass even the most basic questions about obeying court orders. Adam Schiff didn't just ask them tough questions. He exposed a mindset that should deeply worry every American who cares about constitutional limits and democratic guardrails. Schiff's approach was simple. Strip away the political fog and ask each nominee a foundational question. Will you follow a federal court order? Yes or no? That is the absolute baseline for anyone claiming to uphold the Constitution. But instead of giving the clear, unequivocal answers you'd expect from people seeking top legal positions, each nominee stumbled, hesitated, dodged, or tried to bury their answers under complicated legal jargon. It wasn't because the question was hard. It was because the answer, if spoken honestly, would reveal how much unchecked executive power some of these nominees may be willing to give Donald Trump. Schiff pushed past the rehearsed talking points to expose the larger truth. If someone cannot say plainly that court orders must be followed, they are signaling a dangerous willingness to let presidential authority eclipse judicial authority. Schiff reminded them and the country that the Office of Legal Counsel isn't just a political wing of the White House. It is supposed to be the legal conscience of the executive branch, the place where lawyers tell presidents what the law allows and what it clearly forbids. But when nominees refuse to give a yes or no commitment to following lawful court orders, what they're really revealing is not just evasiveness, but openness to lawlessness. His second line of questioning made that even clearer. When Schiff asked whether a president can accept gifts from foreign states without the consent of Congress, a question whose answer is spelled out word for word in the Constitution, the nominee still tried to hedge. Schiff didn't let him. He quoted Article 1, Section 9, the Emoluments Clause, which flatly forbids what Trump was repeatedly accused of doing in office. The nominee's refusal to answer directly not only raised alarms, it underlined the growing belief that Trump's team wants lawyers who will defend power, not the Constitution. What Schiff exposed today is a dangerous shift. Legal advisors willing to twist, bend, or ignore the clearest boundaries in the Constitution whenever it benefits their president. This isn't legal theory. This is how democracies erode, one official at a time, refusing to commit to the rule of law. This moment should make Americans pay attention, because if the people who interpret the law for the next administration cannot say whether they'd obey a court order, then every constitutional right from due process to civil liberties becomes vulnerable to political whims. And that is exactly why exchanges like this matter. They draw a line between public servants and political loyalists, between guardians of the Constitution and enablers of executive overreach. For viewers of Liberal Lens, this is the reminder to stay engaged, because the people who interpret the law today will determine the rights we still have tomorrow. If you want more breakdowns that expose the truth behind the political noise and protect democratic values, make sure you subscribe, share this, and keep amplifying these critical conversations.